I hadn't heard 30-minute intervals. So here's what I can tell you. I am not a trained ear for underwater aquatics. That's why we have a team of experts that are analyzing that data. That data was sent immediately to the Navy last night, and it was analyzed overnight. They're still looking at it, but I can tell you that it's inconclusive. But again, I think the important piece is we're searching in the area where the noises were detected. Several P3 flights have heard the noises as yesterday, and we put assets there. We relocated assets immediately. With respect to food and water, it's my understanding there are some limited rations. I can't tell you exactly how much they have aboard, but they do have some limited rations aboard the vessel.
Speaking to the families, how much hope can you give them after hearing those noises?
Listen, I think you need to be careful. We need to have hope, right? But I can't tell you what the noises are. But what I can tell you is, and I think this is the most important point, we're searching where the noises are, and that's all we can do at this point.
Is that your best clue right now about the status of the submersible or those noises? And are the noises continuing now? Have they stopped?
So I just wanted to. So it was my understanding that the P3 had heard some noises today as well.
The equipment that's been mobilized for this is the finest in the world, the most capable in the world. We have to hold out hope. I think, as you're aware, there's still life support available on the submersible, and we'll continue to hold out hope until the very end. Late last night, the Arctic crew loaded a U.S. ROV, which, thanks to the U.S. military, arrived by air to St. John's Airport late yesterday. The vessel departed the Port of St. John's at 5 a.m. this morning and will arrive at the Titanic site tomorrow morning. We are very aware of the time sensitivity around this mission. Our crews and onshore team are experts in their fields and will continue to support this effort in every way we can. We remain focused on contributing to the search for the Titan crew and continue to hold out hope that they will be located and brought home safely.
There are a couple of pieces of evidence that really stand out to me. Number one, that they lost communications very early in the dive, 1 hour and 45 minutes, less than 2 hours. That means they were on their way down. They hadn't hit the bottom yet. It usually takes about 2 to 3 hours to get to the bottom. That's piece of evidence number one. That's clue number one. And then the other clue is, if it had been a merely communications failure, then why didn't the ship come to the top? You can be sure that the pilot, who is an experienced person, if he experiences a catastrophic communications failure, is going to do everything possible to get that ship to the surface. And that didn't happen, because my understanding was that this Titan was designed so that in case of a crisis, it would come to the surface automatically. It would trigger some kind of buoyancy devices that would bring it to the surface. That didn't happen. So I have to believe that, given the evidence, it had to have been not just a communications failure, but some kind of overall catastrophic failure.
Yo, honestamente, como participante de estas expediciones, sabía...
I honestly, as a participant in these expeditions, knew perfectly well the risk we were involved in. We signed a release, several sheets, I don't remember how many, in which it explains each of the risks you run, including losing your life. We, who are involved in these expeditions, know it is an incredibly risky expedition. We know that we are not going to an amusement park.
Es decir, sabemos que no estamos yendo a un parque de diversión. lo que nos pasó a nosotros es que si pierdes comunicación, hay un lapso de tiempo.
What happened to us is that if you lose communication, there's a tolerance period. If that communication is not recovered, you have to abort the mission. You can see in my videos we lost communication, more or less at a depth of 1,000 meters. The tolerance time passed and we were already aborting the mission. In fact, the ballast was dropped and just at that moment we recovered communication and we didn't lose it anymore, and that's why we were able to make the descent.
Hacer el descenso.
But I'm not hearing the transmission on this sonar.
No,
Right?
you hear nothing?
Yeah. What's weird is I'm getting the pressures, right? I know I'm communicating with that. You ready? Gonna do port drop.
No, we don't see anything.
I'm gonna drop.
Drop weight for having the car. That
Yeah.
there is something strange. The software is bizarre.
As chairman of the submersible committee, I stand by the letter and all the sentiments of our members that were worried. There's no joy in saying, boy, we were hoping this wasn't going to happen. We are in a very precarious situation right now, and it's affecting a lot of people. The industry knows how to do this safely. We've done it for 50 years. We have an excellent track record, and yeah, we have the regulations in place. Can they be updated? Can they be updated faster? Can we accept more new technology faster? Probably, but that's a work in progress, and that's why we're all working on it every year to move that ball forward. In the very, very deep submersibles, like the Titan, 4,000 meters deep, there are only 10 vehicles in the whole world that can go 4,000 meters or deeper, and all of them are certified except the Titan. So it is an outlier. Experts in the industry at the conference voiced concern, what are we going to do? This is very risky. We understand the strategy, but it is very risky for everybody.
Open it.
I mean, it was not certified, so it had no oversight during design, fabrication, and testing. Right, so it's self-certifying, and what you call experimental. And is there room for experimental? Yes. To take people down? No. Right. If it's experimental, you should not be taking people down.
So cool.
Because there are rules about the controllers, what they have to withstand, how they have to be built, how they're tested, how they're installed. And if you put them through the rigors of the test per the regulations, whether it's a $1,000 joystick or a little one, and it's it's passing through the tests of the regulatory agencies, and they say, yep, you're good. No radios work below the waterline. No satellite signals work below the waterline, so everything goes quiet. And it's not just about money. Even the U.S. Navy has issues with that. You do not have this normal support the teenager has on their iPhone that can navigate anywhere in the country. When you're underwater, you only have a few choices, and that is it's acoustic. That's how you send signals. It took a long time to find the Titanic. So although it's big, it's hard to find, even though when you have the location and you launch the submersibles, well, it's not a straight line down to the bottom. You can drift, and it can sometimes be really difficult to find out where you are and find the Titanic while you're driving. And the Titanic's big. It's huge. So having a hard time finding something as large as a Titanic as you're driving a small submersible puts in context how hard it is to find that little pixel of a submarine somewhere on the ground, and you're trying to drive to it.